Our second video devotional for today is taken from Psalm 88. I've titled this one, A Season of Sorrow, but the end is rejoicing. Open your Bible with me to Psalm 88. Well, Psalm 88 is indeed the second chapter in today's Bible study. The first was Psalm chapter 81, and now we're going to read and notice the focus of this second devotional. Now, Psalm 88 was a psalm by Heman the Ezraite. And it was an appeal to the Lord for mercy and grace amid sorrows and troubles. I've titled this subdivision of Psalm 88, A Psalm of Lamentation. Consider then with me Psalm 88 verses 1 and 2, what I would describe as sleepless nights. Now, the author does not reveal the troubles and sorrows he faced in Psalm 88. Still, it was undoubtedly a time of great trial for him who called out to the Lord, referring to the Lord as the God of my salvation in verse 1. The psalmist cried and he prayed, we read in verse 1, day and night, as he poured out his heart to the Lord. In verses 3 through 9, we read this time of trial in this psalmist's life as one of oppression, sorrow, and loneliness. Now, the author, Heman, believed he would die if the Lord did not help him with his burdens and troubles. And then to make his grief worse, we read that Heman felt crushed by God's anger in verse 7, and he complained about feeling alone. He lamented, thou hast put away mine acquaintance, that is my friend, my kindred spirit. You have put away mine acquaintance far from me. Thou hast made me an abomination, that is detestable unto them. I am shut up, and I cannot come forth. Verse 8. With tears streaming down the face of the psalmist, he writes in verse 9, I have called upon thee. I have stretched out my hands unto thee. Notice then, the psalmist shadowed by death, verses 10 through 12. And so the psalmist pleaded with the Lord to spare his life, reasoning that if he died, he would be unable to testify about the Lord's character. Indeed, in the grave, he could not share the Lord's mercies or tell others about his faithfulness and love. And yet, we read in verses 13 through 18 that heaven was silent. Now, the reason for Heman's trials and troubles was not revealed, but his plea to be heard was persistent in verse 13. Indeed, he describes himself as feeling abandoned by God, and he prayed in verse 14, Lord, why castest thou off my soul? Why hidest thou thy face from me? Exhausted from his suffering and overwhelmed by his sorrows, Heman admitted, I am afflicted. Literally, I'm crushed and ready to die from my youth up. Heman believed he had endured suffering throughout his entire life and even since his youth. You know, and Psalm 88 ends with Heman in a dark place. He admits he feels abandoned by those who love him, and it seems only darkness is his friend. Although he was a spiritual leader and a musician in the Lord's sanctuary, that did not protect him from sorrow and physical suffering and loneliness. And so, focusing on himself, it is indeed a dark time for the psalmist. Now, let me make this practical. As someone listening to this video devotional may be in a similar place as Heman. You're down, you're discouraged, you're oppressed, you feel like you have no friends. There's no one there for you, and heaven is silent. I want to encourage you to bow your heart to the Lord and accept that God is sovereign. And I pray that you will trust God and know He is faithful. In a hard place, bow your heart, humble yourself, and call out to the Lord. He is still the God who hears and answers prayer. God bless, and bye-bye.